The Chicago Bears just assisted their injury-depleted defensive backfield by adding defensive back CJ Gardner Johnson, mercurial as he is a Super Bowl champion. And then we also have the Chicago Blackhawks remaining scorching hot as Connor Bedard picks up his first natural hat trick. And the Chicago Bulls look to keep the Madhouse on Madison rocking tonight as they welcome back two familiar faces in DeMar DeRozan and Zach Lavine. We'll get into that plus everything Chicago sports related right after the intro. Good morning, Chicago sports fans. Welcome to another episode of Chi-Town Sports Central. It's your boy, Big Kev, host extraordinaire, holding it down for Chi-Town. Y'all already know how we do. Hit me up at not the phone number. That's my White Sox handle. Hit me up at Big Kev from the Chi. Big Kev from DACHI. And don't forget to follow the rest of the Chi-Town Sports Central family by typing in your favorite Chicago sports team, putting the word Central behind it, and you will find one of the gang, as well as NBA Central, NFL Central, Fighting Illini Central, and the Chi Bulls podcast with C-Dub and Bobby. With all that out the way, Chicago Bears making waves today by signing the 27-year-old Super Bowl champion defensive back CJ Gardner Johnson to help out in their depleted defensive backfield. It's no secret that the Chicago Bears went into last week's game versus the Baltimore Ravens with it was an infirmary. Tyreek Stevenson missed the game. Kyler Gordon got hurt. Jalen Johnson is out. Terrell Smith is out, not to mention the injuries they have on the defensive line. So what do? They go out and pick a player up who played for Dennis Allen, who is aggressive, who is a dog, and who is also a problem in regards to being maybe a head case, causing issues on the field. He is a voracious trash talker, and he can cause issues. But listen, he's a dog. He's a dog. He's only 27 years old, and he's picked up 16 interceptions across his career. So it's one of those guys. Hey, you just can't be mad at him. When he did play for Dennis Allen, he had 3 interceptions and 2 sacks in 12 games. He does know the defense, so being ready to go is not going to be a problem for him. I expect him to go out there and play the same type of role that Kyler Gordon plays. Moved all over the field. He's definitely versatile. He's played safety, cornerback, linebacker at time, and we know that the Chicago Bears like to blitz from that corner position to get pressure on the quarterback. And frankly, last week, Tyler Huntley didn't have any pressure on him at all, really. Like, he got sacked a couple of times, but it wasn't like when the Bears were playing against the Dallas Cowboys, where they were just making life really, really hard on those guys. It's a little bit different last week. The Bears are in the bottom half of the league, the bottom third of the league in terms of getting quarterback pressures, and having someone like Gardner Johnson out there to mix things up could prove beneficial against a Cincinnati team that does give up sacks. But again, it's weakness against weakness, right? The Chicago Bears are weak at creating pressure. The Cincinnati Bengals are weak at protecting their quarterback. But at the end of the day, something's going to have to give. So Chicago Bears are heading to this Cincinnati game, bringing back Austin Booker and adding C.J. Gardner Johnson to the mix to try to add some fuel to the fire of this defense that had, up until last week, been dominant in takeaways. It didn't get any takeaways last week. Hopefully, this here can add to that mix. It's exciting. It's very exciting. I know the boys already dropped a video over on Chicago Bears Central. So if you want in-depth analysis of this here pickup, head on over to Chicago Bears Central, where Bobby and I think it was Bobby and Steve-O that did the episode a few minutes ago. And then, of course, follow Chicago Bears Central for all news and updates on the Chicago Bears. All right, now last night I did get to watch the Chicago Blackhawks game in which your boy Connor Bedard went out there and got a hat trick on him. man, and he was just looking real good in the process. The Chicago Blackhawks jumped out to an early 4-0 lead before the Ottawa Senators came back and made it 4-3. Then the Chicago Blackhawks scored another 4 unanswered goals to win the game 7-3. I mean, no, three more goals to win the game 7-3 on top of Bedard's three hat trick. It was amazing to see, man. He scored 3 goals in a row. It was pretty good to see them take down the Ottawa Senators. And Connor Bedard is scorching hot. He has 6 goals and 6 assists for 12 points in the first 10 games of the season. Right now, his puck control is amazing. The way that he's shooting the puck, he's firing those things. I'm talking about the goalies are having a hard time seeing it just based on velocity alone. He's rocketing those things into the net. And then he's skating really well, under control. My man's is making sure that he does everything that he can to confuse the goalie before he rockets his shots into there. And frankly, he has the complete faith of the coaching staff. Blashill is the first-year coach for the Chicago Blackhawks, Jeff Blashill, and he has the Blackhawks humming there, and they have an opportunity to tomorrow to take on the Winnipeg Jets and possibly move into third place in the Western Conference. Jonathan Toews is on that team, so you know that he's going to be ready to play the Chicago Blackhawks. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But Coach Blashill says, I think Connor's had a great start to the year. He's done so many things the right way. He's defending hard. He's stopping on pucks. He's doing a lot of things that are winning hockey habits. So Chicago Blackhawks are winning games. The Chicago Bears are above 500, and we'll talk about the other team that's playing well. Start off in a second. However, if you want to support the Chicago Blackhawks, head on over to Chicago Blackhawks Central, and we appreciate the love and support over there. And listen, go ahead, click like and share. Good job for the Chicago Blackhawks, man. Great start to the season for them. But speaking of great starts to the season, the Chicago Bulls are 3-0, and they are looking to stay undefeated tonight as they welcome Zach Lavine and DeMar DeRozan back to the Madhouse on Madison. And this is going to be a fun game because you just see a complete change in approach to how the Chicago Bulls are playing basketball. Honestly, they're just frankly an unselfish team. Right now, the Chicago Bulls are fifth in assist on the season. And they're 17th in points per game. That's middle of the pack, but they're getting rebounds. They're passing the ball around, and they're playing pretty good defense, holding the lead to the fifth worst amount of points. Now we know what to expect when you got DeMar DeRozan and Zach Lavine coming to town. And frankly, Zach Lavine has started. Now the team itself is 1-3, but Zach Lavine is averaging 29 points a game on 51% shooting from the field, 40% from three, and 95% from the free throw line. So he's having one of his best starts offensively, at least, to any of his NBA seasons. And you know he's going to be ready to play against the Chicago Bulls tonight. You also have DeMar DeRozan averaging 19 points a game on 50% from the field. And he also shooting 30% from three, but 65% from free throw is crazy from DeMar DeRozan. And you know Chicago Bulls killer Dennis Schroeder is going to be out there ready to play basketball as well. And Malik Monk, one of my favorite players in the NBA, he's going to be ready to go, as well as Russell Westbrook. So it's going to be no easy task to defeat these guys. But the way the Chicago Bulls are playing basketball right now, you just can't count them out of any game. They've won every type of way that you can. They've let a 20-point lead slip and still held on to win. They had pretty much a wire-to-wire victory over the Orlando Magic, and then they took care of an Atlanta Hawks team who jumped out early on the Bulls, and the Bulls weathered that storm and got the win. So tonight they're looking to start 4-0 since for the first time since 2021, when Caruso and Lonzo Ball and Lavine and DeRozan and all those guys were here, and the Bulls were run off to a nice lead into the Eastern Conference before injuries caused them to falter down the stretch, and they lost in the first round to the Milwaukee Bucks. But tonight we're expecting the Bulls to do much of the same. Me personally, I don't expect them to lose this game. And I'm not expecting them to go 82-0, but these guys are going to be motivated, led by, of course, Josh Giddey. Nikola Vucevic as well has had a great start to the season. He's averaging 20 points, shooting 55% from the three-point line and 100% from the free throw line to go along with how many rebounds is Vuce giving us? 10 rebounds. So he's averaging 20 and 10. That's all-star numbers right now, 13 rebounds. 20 and 13, so that's all-star numbers right there. And of course, Josh Giddey's filling up the stat sheet, 19.3 points per game. He's still averaging 8.7 rebounds and 6.3 assists. And frankly, Trey Jones has been really running the point guard position. He's averaging 8.3 assists and 13 points a game. So, and of course, Patrick Williams playing well off the bench. Kevin Herter playing well off the bench. Matas Buzelis playing well in his second year. Ayo playing great off the bench, shooting 56% from three. No, 60% from three, 56% from the field. This guy is focused and motivated. Shout out to the Chicago legend, Ayo Dosunmu. 17 points a game, nothing to sneeze at, especially coming off the bench. So you're getting a lot of effort from everybody. And even Isaac Okoro contributed in last game, but he got a lot of work to do, offensively at least, to help the Chicago Bulls team win games. So a lot of players are going to be ready to play tonight. This is an unselfish Bulls team that plays defense, moves the ball around, and is a complete antithesis of how things were when Zach Lavine and DeMar DeRozan were the de facto ones and twos on the team. So before we move on to the rest of the Chicago sports team, I have a question for you guys, and you guys can comment in the comment section how you feel about the Chicago Bears being above 500, the Chicago Bulls being undefeated, and the Chicago Blackhawks being above 500. I have to say, it probably hasn't been this way since, who knows, the early 2010s, when D Rose and no Joakim Noah and them were playing for the Bulls, when Jonathan Tays and Patrick Kane was playing for the Blackhawks, and we still had Jay Cutler and them playing for the Chicago Bears. I can't even think of the last time we were in late October, early November, and all three fall sports teams were playing well. So shout out to these guys for keeping Chicago sports interesting. Well, let us know how you guys feel. Is it sustainable? Which one of these teams has a legitimate shot at making the playoffs? I frankly believe the Chicago Bulls are going to make the playoffs this year, and it's not going to be as a 8 seed fighting for the play-in. I believe they're going to be fighting for that 5th, 6th spot toward the end of the season. Hopefully, I'm right there. The Blackhawks, if they can these guys put the puck in the net. They score a lot of goals, and if they can keep it going and stay healthy, they might have a good shot at the playoffs. The Bears are probably the one team that I don't really have too much faith in making the playoffs. I want to see them make the playoffs, but prior to the season, I didn't have them as a playoff team. I had them as an 8-9 win team. They're going to have to win 10 or 11 games to make the playoffs, maybe even as a wild card, the way the NFC is set up. So let us know what you think. Which team is going to make the playoffs, if not all, and how you guys feel about how well these teams are playing to start the season. All right, moving right along. Of course, if you want to hear more things about the Chicago Bulls, head on over to Chicago Bulls Central, where Hayes is holding it down over there, and the Shy Bulls podcast, where C-Dub and Bobby's holding it down over there. And check us out over on Playback, the Chi-Town Sports Network channel. Over on Playback allows us to watch the game with you guys and interact with you guys, even through YouTube. You can catch me, Steve-O, Bobby, C-Dub, and Hayes, all of us over there on live games. Of course, I'm in and out depending on my work schedule. But we appreciate the love and support that you guys give us as well. Now, the Chicago Cubs, it's looking like they are just, we know what's going to happen. It's Kyle Tucker. Will he, won't he? This is the third year in a row the Chicago Cubs have to wonder about one of their players staying or going. We saw it with Cody Bellinger 2 seasons in a row before he left last year to go to the Yankees, and now it's Kyle Tucker. But one thing that they don't want to do is find themselves in this situation next offseason with Nico Horner. Nico Horner is a fan favorite. He's a Gold Glove defender. He plays pretty much every day. And in 2025, he had his best season as a Chicago Cub, 297, 345, 394 slashing. And he's very good defensively, just like very, very good defensively. He's in his prime. He's only 28 years old. And you don't want to see a player like him go to free agency. you got to give him his contract this offseason and let him continue to produce for the Chicago Cubs. Now, I'm not the Chicago Cubs person anymore. My boy Big Mike is holding it down over on Chicago Cubs Central. So definitely hit that channel up, hit the like button, subscribe button, and he'll definitely give you more information on what they should do with the Nico Horner contract. All right, Chicago White Sox. They're most likely going to be looking at players at every position: pitching, first base, outfield, second base, maybe not shortstop, but all the rest of these positions are going to be up in the air for the Chicago White Sox. Maybe not center field if they continue to hold on to my boy Luis Robert Jr. But at the end of the day, we got Montgomery at shortstop. He came on and was looking really, really good, hitting home runs. So he's going to be there. You got players at let's see, who else? Chase Mydroff. We know catcher is going to be good as well. We got two pretty good catchers. But hey, Gleyber Torres, maybe out of the Tigers. Jorge Polanco, second baseman, perhaps. Trent Grisham, another option. Luis Reyes for first base, maybe. Adrian Hauser, perhaps coming back. So if you guys want to hear anything else about these players, I'll do an episode on Chicago White Sox Central to cover that. But go ahead, go over there, hit like, hit share, hit comment, make some comments. We appreciate your support. No news for the Chicago Sky. So yeah, that's the big news. The Chicago Bears shore up their defensive backfield by picking up Gardner, and then the Chicago Bulls are looking to stay undefeated. The Blackhawks are playing really, really well. Cubs and White Sox are looking to go into their offseason to pick up different players and shore up their offense and defense. Hit us up, man. Let us know what y'all think about the content. Don't forget to follow the rest of the Chi-Town Sports Central family. Just put in your favorite Chicago sports team. Put the word Central behind it. You will find one of us. Of course, NFL Central, NBA Central, the Shy Boys Podcast, Fighting the Night Central as well. It's your boy Big Kev holding it down for Chi-Town, all things Chicago sports related. And we're going to holler at you guys next time. Peace.